"Just one more night, babe," Mark had promised, squeezing her hand over the center console. "Then it's nothing but beaches and overpriced coffee in Cannon Beach." Sarah had smiled, a genuine, unburdened smile that felt like a relic from another lifetime now. That was just yesterday. 24 hours ago they were laughing, singing along to terrible 90s pop and planning their future. Their Great Pacific Northwest adventure had started with such optimism. 2 weeks of escaping the suffocating routine of their suburban lives in Phoenix, a chance to reconnect before the demands of Mark's new job and Sarah's grad school applications consumed them. They had booked cozy Airbnbs, mapped out scenic detours and even bought matching flannel shirts, much to Mark's feigned embarrassment. Yesterday afternoon, they'd been driving through a particularly remote stretch of Highway 101, somewhere south of Tillamook. The mist clung to the evergreens like a shroud, and the rain, a steady drizzle for most of the day, was beginning to intensify. Their phone signals had died hours ago, a minor inconvenience they joked about, calling it part of the digital detox. Then the sputtering started. "No, no, no," Mark muttered, his brow furrowing as the Subaru coughed, choked, and finally, with a pathetic shudder, died. They were on a desolate stretch, no houses, no gas stations, just the endless, towering trees and the whisper of the Pacific somewhere to their right. They tried everything. Mark, ever the optimist, popped the hood. Sarah, ever the pragmatist, dug out the emergency blanket and snacks. After an hour of futile attempts, drenched and shivering, a flicker of hope appeared in the rearview mirror, headlights. "Thank God," Sarah breathed, relief washing over her. The vehicle that pulled up behind them was an old, beat-up pickup truck, its paint faded to a dull, indeterminate color. A man, burly and with a thick, unkempt beard, got out. He wore a faded baseball cap pulled low, shadowing his eyes. "Trouble?" he grunted, his voice rough but not overtly unfriendly. Mark explained the situation. The man listened, nodding slowly. "Looks like a dead battery. I got jumper cables but my truck's pretty old. Might not have the juice." He paused, then added, "Tell you what. There's a small garage, about 5 miles up. Pops. He's usually open late. I can give one of you a ride." A cold dread coiled in Sarah's stomach. Splitting up on a deserted road with no cell service with a stranger? Her instinct screamed no. But Mark, ever the logical problem solver, weighed their options. It was dark, getting colder, and calling for a tow was impossible. This seemed like their only shot. "I'll go," Mark said, meeting her eyes. "You stay with the car. Keep the doors locked. I'll be back as fast as I can." Sarah hated it, hated the twist in her gut, but she nodded, trying to be brave. "Be careful," she whispered, her voice barely audible above the drumming rain. He kissed her, a quick, reassuring peck, and then climbed into the passenger seat of the pickup. The truck's engine rumbled to life, its taillights glowing crimson in the deepening gloom. Sarah watched, clutching her arms around herself as they pulled away, the red lights shrinking, until they vanished around a bend in the road. That was the last time she saw Mark. 2 hours later, hypothermia setting in, the fear of frantic bird beating against her ribs, Sarah knew something was terribly wrong. Pop's garage couldn't be 5 miles that way. They had passed it hours ago, a forgotten little shack with a perpetually closed sign. The rain hadn't stopped. The wind howled through the trees. Every rustle, every creak of the car's cooling metal made her jump. She was alone, truly alone, in a vast, dark wilderness, and the man who had driven off with her fiancé was a ghost. She wrapped the emergency blanket tighter, the foil crinkling like dry leaves. She wanted to scream, but the sound would be swallowed by the forest, heard by no one. Mark, her funny, practical, loving Mark, had vanished into the Oregon night, leaving behind only the chilling silence and the memory of fading red lights. The road trip that was meant to bring them closer had ripped them apart, leaving Sarah with an unbearable, suffocating question. What had truly happened on that desolate stretch of Highway 101? And would she ever see him again?